welcome back to our channel, Red Bull Coffee and Crime. It is your girl Red Bull here. We got coffee today.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm tired. I had a thing stuck up my butt today. Not
Well, you know, that and the medications, I'm sure that makes you tired.
yes, I'm extremely exhausted. I hope I never have to do it again.
I hope you don't either.
um, so everybody that's joining us, we're kind of doing like a part two. I know last time we said, "Hey, Kristen." Um, we're gonna go over more um, Stacy stuff, and this would be a great time because she has now doxed Dee Dee. She has put her phone number um, on her page and is basically telling members to call her and ask for KYRON.
And they absolutely are doing it.
That's the
Like, that's
crazy
what
thing.
surprises me,
Yeah,
is that she's got 50,000 people that will do this for her.
it, it's insane.
You
It's
know, with that kind of power, why isn't she organizing searches and encouraging people to put out flyers? And why is it let's make phone calls to a woman that obviously hasn't had answers in 12 years?
I I don't know. I mean, yeah, like how does that help KYRON at all? These people, they're like, oh my god, it's her voicemail. Oh my god, I left. Where's KYRON? Let's send pictures of KYRON, and it's just so disturbing. What
It
the?
is disturbing. Like, and it's more disturbing that, like, the platform Facebook is allowing this. I know I have reported several times. You know how I feel about these ladies' parents. I mean, to me, I guess because I'm their age and I just lost my dad, to me, that's just crossed the line that I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I,
I
what?
mean, all they did was give birth to children, that they raised children. And these women were their children. Neither of these women live with their parents. Why are we degrading and encouraging people to stalk their houses? Why?
She claims that both parents know what happened, and she doesn't have any sympathy or anything.
And that's disgusting to
It
me
is. She said
because
the
you
last.
don't know what any parent knows. And once again, these are people that are innocent until proven guilty. That's why we have the system, the judicial system set up the way we do. It's because every person in the United States is granted the ability to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Exactly.
And neither of these women have ever been proven guilty in a court of law. In fact, neither one of them have ever been listed as a suspect.
And for 12 years, supposedly, Ellie and the DA, different DA and Ellie, have just been sitting on their asses. I mean, how does
Right,
that
and
even?
that's another shocking thing. Not only different DAs, different law enforcements, but different grand juries.
Exactly. They're
You
all
know,
just sitting on their asses, and they're all, just
incapable of making rational, common sense decisions.
and
You
it's
know, it makes no sense to me. The grand jury has more information than any of us out here.
yeah,
Yet we're supposed to believe this woman who the only reason anybody ever listened to her was because she attached herself to Desiree, who is in the media a very sympathetic, human being. When you look at Desiree, you can feel Desiree's emotions, even if they're not genuine. She'd have been a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
She could have lit up the silver screen without a problem because she's got that ability to make you want to help her.
Yeah.
And Stacy grabbed onto that early on, and has been this crazy voice. And Desiree has never once said, "Hey, you know what? You're not helping me."
Yeah. Um, this woman, like when I started looking back at her page, like from years ago, she is asking people um, for tips that have already been sent in. She's asking people, hey, if you sent a tip in, make sure you let us like message us with the tip. So this new evidence, as I'm thinking about it last night, because we pulled up new stuff, like we pulled up her saying that it is her opinion, it's not facts. This new evidence, it, she says, I'll explain, but I really think that somebody wrote them with a tip that they turned in, and it came. Ellie said it was nothing. I mean, they're gonna look into it if they think it's.
Well, we have to be realistic here, and let's think about it. Now, if we think back, we know that Ellie stopped communicating with the family in any form of telling them what was happening in the investigation. What, about 6 months after KYRON was missing, because things that they were telling Desiree she couldn't hold, and she was twisting those things to look how she wanted them to look. So they quit communicating with them.
It's ridiculous. You cannot run a page and try to make the world think that there's this new evidence. A creator took that, which I knew they would. They took that information and they made a video, and then they body shamed Dee Dee while they were making the video, making fun of, oh, look how fat she is. Oh, what does that have to do with KYRON? What does it have to do with KYRON? You don't go somewhere saying, oh, yeah, there's evidence you don't even know nothing about. Have you seen this evidence? Has Ellie came
Well,
out and
I
said,
don't
oh,
want
yeah,
to.
we have this evidence. We're going to take them to jail. They have not been to jail. If there was this evidence, they would have been in jail. So why are you taking this information and running and trying to get clicks and fucking views? It's
Well,
disgusting.
I don't want to call anybody out,
I'm
but
calling them out. That's bullshit.
hold on a minute. In the early days of our group, we had a member that I felt he could have a very good view at this case, and I have never discredited his view. But he, in the very early beginning of our group, um, led our members to believe that he was going to make a big break. And he had done this a couple times. And we discussed it as the admin and decided that it was irresponsible to let him continue to put that out there without ever producing any evidence.
And that's
Um,
what we did. And that's what I'm saying. This creator is taking it. She's not going to change her mind. This creator had me on her panel, and you know how that went. I mean, it's a total situation where, oh my God, here's,
well,
something.
nobody's responsible when they're doing this stuff. And we share a lot of our opinions. We absolutely do. But we try to be responsible with what we say and do. Um, and as well as I do that I don't like this ugly side of this case, not at all, not even a little bit.
None
I
of us
mean,
None of us do, but it's here, and you know.
And that's where it's at. I mean, even I had to step in and make a post. Because you have no right. You don't have any right to be ruining anybody's life because you think, and that's what Stacy is. She thinks, but she doesn't think anything. Your thoughts don't matter. They don't prove anything.
But these people with this, I mean, she has 50K. This creator has almost 20K. If this creator, or if you guys know who I'm talking about, I am asking you to please take the video down. It's not only hurting KYRON's case, just like Stacy has been, but it is ridiculous. And if you go back and listen to how you sound, I mean, fat shaming somebody, and they're not even a suspect. Like, stop
Oh, and
making people believe something that's not there.
why are we in second grade? Why are we body shaming each other? Like I guess that's my thing is we're looking for a child that went missing when he was in second grade. We shouldn't be acting like we're children in second grade.
No. So, hey, Mama Bear, how are you? So this is the post, you guys. I put it on. This is what we Garnett had posted. We blocked out. Garnett had blocked out her number. This is from Stacy's page. It says public information is a great thing. Where is KYRON Didi? Ask. Hashtag ask Terry, ask Didi. Da da da. So people are commenting. Some are like, I understand how you must feel about this woman. I'm not going to tell you that. I get it because I'm not in your position. And this is what I'm saying. I don't know if some of these people don't, that I think they think that this is Desiree. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. That's what I feel. But I get it.
I definitely know that they a lot of those people are on the group because they feel like Desiree is directly involved with that group.
Yeah. Because I'm not in your position, so I can only imagine the amount of anger you have towards her. But I want to caution you. What you're doing is considered doxing, especially when people on your page are now admitting to calling this phone number. Then it becomes harassment. I caution anyone against being tempted to call. Stacy says she shouldn't have killed a child. That's called murder, and this is public information. A quick Google search, and anyone can find this information. No, you have to pay for that. I mean, it is public. You got to pay for it. And I haven't asked anyone to do anything. They can do what they want with the public info posted. So, other people, we should all text and call. One simple question: where is KYRON? I guess somebody just this person sent a text message of KYRON to her, and it says, "Where is 7-year-old innocent victim KYRON?" He's not
Well,
7 years old. Um, some guy's all excited. I called the mobile number. It's still her and her voicemail. Somebody said, "Oh, did you leave a voicemail?" Yes. I said, "Where is KYRON, Dee? Should text her pics of KYRON." And then I guess they messaged her again. So many people are messaging. And somebody finally again says, "I want KYRON found as well. We all do. That's why we're on this page. However, I will say to those calling and texting, be careful. They could say it's harassment or stalking. I know everyone's heart is in the right place. I don't like Terry or Dee Dee either. Just saying there's a fine line." Stacy then says, "You realize if they take anyone to court, they have to talk about KYRON. Let them take me to court. I'm ready to bring KYRON home. But we all know Terry did take her to court at one point, right?"
and she lost that case.
Yeah, she
But
lost
the
it.
laws are changing.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I'm
you
just
know,
saying she did take her though. So,
well that's sort of what's given her this higher than thou attitude. She truly thinks that she can't be touched.
mm-hmm.
She thinks that there's some sort of a a protection barrier against her. And, you know, that isn't so. And it's definitely not so for the people that are in her group, and like I said, over the last 12 years, the laws have changed a whole lot because the internet was just, you know, really in its infancy stage. It was just starting to be a common household um, form of entertainment back then. Now the internet is almost a necessity for us to get almost anything done. But back then, it was really like a beginning form of entertainment. We used these new platforms like Facebook and even MySpace back then. We played computer games, but we didn't. We did blogging, godlike productions. We did stuff like that, but it wasn't to the extent now that it is. Now we depend on the internet to do our banking and to do our shopping, and it's almost a necessity. I mean, and in fact, even the government's looking at it as a necessity. They're making it to where children with families with children have internet access so that they can be further ahead in their education. So the entire thing, the entire monster has changed, and the laws are also following suit.
And it's illegal if you say, like somebody wrote, I'm going to show this post after. Lisa made a good point. She said, um, when I wrote that post, that thing this morning, somebody was like, well, it's not legal. It's not illegal. And um,
Well, I wanted to put this out there because you said that she said that it's not illegal
well, she
to
said,
post this public information. And what she doesn't realize is that whoever got those public that public information report, when they took that, they agreed that they would not stalk or harass the people that they were getting that information on.
and yeah, Lisa said it doesn't matter if you post someone's personal information for the intent of harassment. It's illegal in every state. And everyone's like, yeah, she also said the problem is we are not the ones they are calling. Lexi is sending them to Dee Dee's lawyer, and Dee Dee has to be the one to ask them to stop or take action. I know Dee Dee has done this before because DY has said it herself. Um, oh my god. Come here. So yeah, it is harassment, and like you said, they have to pay for it, and you have to little click that little box. The
That says that you won't use this to stalk or harass people.
yeah, you can't just Google. If I Google Dee Dee's name right now, her phone number is not going to pop up. It's going to make me pay for a web thing to get that. The internet can do almost anything. Wiper behind just says exactly. I'm new to this case. To Kyron Horman's case, are you in our groups? Are you in our Kyron group and then our exposed Stacy Green group? Come here, baby. Come here. Henry, you. Um, Garnett just left me. She'll be back. She'll be back. Okay. So this is what I wrote last night because this evidence I'm having, it's very weird. Okay. Um, Here she is. Okay. So I posted the other day. Um, I will go through that one, but okay. So 7 years ago, someone said, so you said she's the last one to see him alive. So are you sure he isn't alive or just stating that because she claims she dropped him off at school that morning? I'm confused too, but want to make sure we share as much as possible to get his face out there. And she said, Stacy says, I am stating that because I believe Terry killed Kyron. It is my opinion. I just do not think so, but that is my opinion. Nothing points that way at all. Nothing that I have seen, anyways. Somebody asked her about trafficking. So just because she hasn't seen it, she doesn't think so. Um, and then when I posted this, just where is it? 4 weeks ago, she also stated that it's her opinion. Let me go back to those posts. Nothing she says is facts, but she claims they're facts. But she forgets that she says this is opinion. Somebody said, does the evidence you have back up that he was specifically buried? I don't have any evidence. Law enforcement has all that. I didn't word that well. What I'm trying to ask is if you're aware of evidence that specifically leads you to believe his remains were buried over other methods of disposal. She says, thank you for clearing that up. It is my opinion that they buried Kyron. Okay, but she states, hold on. She says
several times now that it's fact that
that it's
Dee Dee
fact that he is buried. So she says, this is what true evil looks like. Dee Dee has been given immunity. Ask her. She will tell you. Dee Dee is the one who killed Kyron for Terry. And yes, there is proof showing this. But Dee Dee has immunity, so Dee Dee won't pay for what she did to Kyron. Yet she sits in silent 12 years now. Dee Dee got immunity in 2013. So why haven't we got Kyron? Dee Dee gets to live her life free because some detective or whoever made this huge mistake, a detective gave her full immunity, right? So Dee Dee needs to speak up and tell us where Kyron is. End this already. You won't serve a minute in jail, so do the damn right thing. If you see
all
Dee
right.
Dee Fleischer, what?
Uh, I just want to talk about any evidence that they would know about.
Hold on, let me just finish this real quick. If you see Dee Dee, remember she killed Kyron and will get away with it. It's not okay for her to sit quiet when she can end this. Keep the pressure on her. Ask her where Kyron is. Ask her why she got immunity. Ask her where she buried Kyron. She states it everywhere. It's a fact. There is new evidence that shows Dee Dee buried Kyron for Terry. But now
Now,
it's an opinion.
now she just stated that she doesn't have any evidence. Is that not what you just read to us?
She says that she doesn't have the evidence.
That
Ellie has the
Ellie
evidence.
has the evidence. Now,
Mhm.
my last statement was that Ellie hasn't shared anything with anybody since about 6 months into this case. So the evidence that they have had to have went in front of the grand jury.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, any evidence that Stacy or Desiree would know, um, had to have went in front of the grand jury because they haven't gotten any new updates since then.
No, and she says it's time stamped and dated. So you're right. A grand jury looked at it and there's nothing. She just
I
wants
mean, it,
people.
it makes no sense. But she's been
Comment
saying that.
here, nobody's been charged with murder and nobody's ever been named a suspect or a POI. What were you saying, Garnet?
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to make it make sense, but she's been saying the same thing for 12 years. And she has. You can look back and see where it's always been the same song and dance,
It's
just a
the,
different wording.
it's the same thing, you guys. I went back and except when it first happened, it was Terry.
Yes.
Terry did it. And that was her opinion. And then it changed to, oh, Dee Dee did it. And it kind of
Well,
changes back and forth, anyways.
and it changed because then she had members in her group that were making sense, and she realized that, now I've got to switch it up. Now it's Terry, because or now it's Dee Dee, because she has immunity, and that's why we don't have an arrest, which is ludicrous. I mean, it's just, that's absolutely the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That is not, they don't give immunity like that, unless they're solving a case. Now,
Exactly.
if they could have gotten uh, Dee Dee to say Terry did this, this, and this, and could have formed a case against Terry, they might have given Dee Dee immunity. But that obviously hasn't happened.
She got immunity because of the tax situation.
And absolutely, yeah, I know this, you know this.
I'm just letting them, them know. Somebody just
Right.
wrote in our group as well. More misleading information. This is the same person who said Dee Dee never had immunity. They used to say that to you guys, like she didn't
Hmm.
have immunity. They swore for years she doesn't have immunity. Da da da. But all of a sudden now she
Well,
has.
that's because that's when she switched it up to now Dee Dee does have immunity.
Hmm.
And that's why Dee Dee is the one that buried him, because she's got immunity and won't serve any time for it.
Yeah.
And if you take an immunity deal, if you lie, then that is stripped from you.
Yeah.
So, if Dee Dee took immunity and lied and didn't tell them, and for whatever reason they haven't arrested Terry, then if they were able to prove with time, date, and stamped evidence that Dee Dee buried him, well, that would be an obvious lie, and the immunity would be stripped.
Exactly. They don't think about that. And hold on, let me show. Um, Mama Bear. I'll be honestly, I have not seen one unbiased person uh report like make videos on Kyron. So that's when we started to. If you go back and like look at our videos under Kyron, you can watch those. Or there's a lot of stuff in our group. Uh, it's just everybody just
Does
says,
somebody have me blocked? Am I missing something in the comments?
"Really? You don't see Mama Bear?"
I see Mama Bear. Okay. I don't know. It's just weird the way it's showing up.
It's in Oregon. He went missing 12 years ago out of Skyline Elementary. But everything you see, that's why we made the group, because there's stuff that people, the media ran with whatever the bio parent said. Um, we interviewed James too. If you want to go look at that interview, we have that's Terry Horman's son, which is Terry is Kyron's mom, well, stepmom, but she raised Kyron. Um, okay, so this is, oh, that's not the one. They were trying to compare this to Alex Murdaugh or whatever, Murdo and Casey Anthony. Their cases are totally different. Hold on. Mama Bear, if you're not in the Kyron one, maybe you're only in the exposing one. There's not a lot of information in this one. It's just showing like the misinformation, basically. Okay, so
I mean, it's just so, there's so many contradictions, and it's sad. I just, you brought up the other day that Desiree and herself has shot herself in the foot so many times in this case. Um, and that's sad that she has hurt this case to a point where I don't know that it'll ever be solved.
I don't know either. Look, 7 years ago, she's saying Stacy is stating the same thing she says now. They have plenty of evidence. Plenty of evidence. 7 years ago, not this new evidence. I guess this was evidence a long time ago. The
I was
DA,
gonna say she's been saying that they have plenty of evidence since months after this.
the
I
DA
mean,
is just a scary cat. Rod Underhill for Multnomah County District Attorney. Tell him to man up. You guys, she's saying the same thing for the last couple years. Every single for 12 years, she's been saying the same exact thing. It doesn't make any
yes.
sense. Any sense.
And it's funny that all of these people now Stacy knows, but none of these groups of people, the DAs, the law enforcement, the grand juries, none of these group of people know it. And they've seen all of it. But Stacy knows it.
Stacey knows it all, you guys. Her opinion is facts, and
Stacy isn't any, and that's what makes me so frustrated in this case. Is Stacy is nobody anything more than what you or I am. The only reason that Stacy has had the platform and the groundwork that she has had is because she jumped on to Desiree's coattails in the very beginning and said, "Oh, I'm going to help you bring your son home." And you know, her techniques um are what has kept this case from moving forward. I absolutely believe that. Everybody's more focused on driving by Terry's mom and dad's house or finding a phone number to call Dee Dee, or everybody's more focused on that than
somebody made a good post. I didn't read this. Um, she said a word of caution for anyone gullible enough to believe or act on anything based on what's posted on the KYRON World Soldiers page run by Stacy Green. Stacy's posts for attention, but she's ignorant about the law and posting misinformation. Her efforts have actually hurt the investigation. Harassment and community torching are vengeance based and do nothing to locate a missing child. She's been doing this for 12 years, and they are no closer to finding KYRON than they were 12 years ago. Miss Green enjoys bullying and debasing others to distract from her own failures because she has a personality disorder. Her latest stunt is giving out Dee Dee's address, phone numbers, place of employment, and encouraging others to stalk and harass her, which is illegal and could escalate to violence. This will do nothing to find KYRON. Please know you're only a tool to her. She couldn't care less if one of her followers got in trouble or was arrested. Stacy says with certainty Dee Dee killed KYRON for her friend, but also she says Dee Dee has immunity. She cannot make up her mind, but her poor reasoning should give you a clue about her overall level of stupidity and ignorance. Stacy does not have withheld evidence. Anyone who challenges this uh, false claim is immediately banned from her page. Watch. Clue number two. She simply boasts about having special knowledge about new evidence in order to have an audience and keep people on her page. She's lying when she says an arrest is imminent based in new information or evidence. Not true. Do you think the police would trust some loudmouth on Facebook with new evidence before an arrest? You think they jeopardize their investigation by telling her what they know and are doing? Stacy Green is literally the Wizard of Oz claiming special knowledge without nothing behind the curtain.
I love that
As far as
analogy.
as far as her silly claims about Dee Dee, to be clear, the police have never, that's in 12 years, named Dee Dee a suspect or person of interest in this case. Despite that undisputed fact, the blowhard claims she knows she killed KYRON for a fact. Miss Green, which is Stacy, is simply ignorant and using a child to feel powerful. Don't let her use you to carry out her instructions or get yourself in trouble. So, and then she put these up. This is Stacy's post. Flyers should be showing up in your mailboxes today. Thank you so much. If you are in Clear Lake, Ukiah, Lakeport, Middletown, Mendocino, Sonoma, California area, let me know and I'll give you some flowers while I still have them. Remember, Terry's birthday is March 14th. Celebration accordingly. Klamath Falls, Oregon, I have flyers for you too. She says, um, oh, then she's posting what the other people. So she only tells people to hang up flyers in Terry and Dee Dee's neighborhoods and the
Right.
areas they go to. You guys, she doesn't tell people to hang up flyers. And these flyers aren't the original flyers. Like these flyers are the flyers that she makes with Dee Dee and Terry
Yes.
on them.
And those are not, they're not missing. They're not approved by the sheriff's department. They're not approved, you know, as much as I don't want to say it, they're not approved by the FBI. They're not.
They're
These
not.
are something that she put together and put out there.
And you guys, there's so much information that, we've started threads about different people. There's so much more that she could be doing than having people just do this and saying the same stuff over and over and over and over. The polygraphs don't mean anything. Like, I didn't even know the Green River Killer passed the polygraph.
I told you that. I don't know how you didn't know that.
I don't remember you telling me. And
Absolutely.
when I saw this murderer um, fail, I mean pass, and then an innocent man failed, like she's keeps talking about the damn polygraph test. Like,
And they don't mean nothing. They're a tool that investigators use, and sometimes they use them even the way they're not meant to be made. And that's by telling somebody, "Look, you failed your polygraph," when in fact you actually passed it. They're not telling. There is nothing in the laws that say that the police have to tell you the truth. I can't remember the case itself, but it's always stuck in my head that they had a younger man, I want to say between the ages of 16 and 20, and
mhm.
they had interrogated him for like 8 hours. And
The man that
they,
we that they said that he killed his mom.
no,
Oh,
they stepped out of the room and they come back in about a half hour with a letter that was supposedly from this child's mother. And uh, in the letter, all it said was, "I love you and I want you to tell the truth."
oh my God.
And he gave a false confession right then and there, and it was overturned later on. But they knew that letter didn't come from his mother.
Yeah.
They plain out used that against him,
We
knowing that, at that minute his mom was all he wanted.
hold on, you guys. Oops, hold on. Um. Oh, that was you, Mama Bear. I was like, who's gonna see the messages? Okay. Yeah, we've gone over videos of the read technique. We've gone over, Oh yeah, that picture that I just showed. Um, hold on. So everybody talks about this sexting thing with Terry that she did with a man after KYRON went missing, but nobody talks about how Desiree had another ceremony in August, like what, 3 weeks or no, 2 months,
2 months.
two
2 months.
months after KYRON went missing. I do not care if I had this planned already. There's no
Well,
way I'm getting remarried.
let me say this. Now, Desiree even said the reason for this ceremony was because they did a quick wedding and none of the family could be there.
Oh
So
well,
they were renewing the marriage so that their family could be there.
I know,
But
but but
wait. Isn't the most important part of your family your child?
yeah,
I mean, it, I could not imagine it just 2 months after my child is missing, me having any kind of a family celebration that my child, my family should be there for.
no, look, all happy and but nobody talks about that, and we don't care. Okay, Terry did some weird things after Kyron disappeared. Well, so did Desiree. And if Terry is going to be
Well,
bashed,
let's talk about these weird things that Terry did. Now, Terry went out and got her hair done. Terry went to the gym. The enforcement in the very early days told the family, we want you to do normal everyday activities. We want you to get out, and there's several reasons for that. Because if there is a kidnapper, they're seeing that they're not, that they haven't gotten control. They also know that the family is in the worst mental states that they could possibly be in. So, to fight depression and all of that, they encourage the people to get out and do their things. And then the Michael Cook thing has a completely different, you know, that's a completely different animal because at that time, Terry was at her lowest. And if we look at how Michael Cook come into the situation, shortly after June 4th, he starts showing around. He starts bringing food to the family. He starts battling the media to get into Terry, and then Terry is stripped of her entire family. She's stripped of her daughter. KYRON is missing. Kane just up and leaves without even talking to her. Like, I understand, but there's not even a conversation. Like, what they said is true, and that's the end of it. So, Terry is now completely isolated. She's got a handful of friends, and she knows she's not able to freely talk to anybody because everything that she is saying is being twisted and turned at every turn. She in the early days was talking to people, and those emails were coming out. So then you have Michael Cook who rides in on this silver horse and is saving the day. And in those messages, all they really show is enough to embarrass Terry. And in the book, Desiree even touches on the fact that they told Desiree, we told Terry if she doesn't cooperate, we're going to release these and embarrass her. So all those messages were meant as a blackmail technique.
man, in the book it's okay. Wait, hold on, Mama Bear. If the lady on the screen is Kyron's bio mom, she also misinformed people. She got a book written and about, I guess, it's her side of the story. She lies multiple times. It was a year before she went to Canada for supposedly medical reasons. It's not expensive there. So she gave custody to Kane. But this was like a year before she knew she was going to Canada. And she told everybody it was like a couple months before. Like,
Well, and the biggest part is that she says she fights for 2 years. There's an entire chapter
yeah,
where she
she
talks
didn't.
about this legal battle that she had
She
wh-
didn't.
when she come back. And there's not one court record that says that she ever went back for child custody. Not one.
No, we have a lawyer in our group has the court documents, the divorce documents between Desiree and Kane.
Who was she fighting with? Where did she go? Where did all these court battles take place? Because
No, because she gave,
it's not a record. There's not a record of them.
and she also says, let me pull this up because she says in 2013 as well, she says that there was no um, problems. Like, hold on.
Yes, she was very wishy-washy, and even in the book, she's very wishy-washy with, 1 minute she's talking about he's dead, and then the next minute she's talking about, well, I'll never accept that he's dead. She is very wishy-washy on, and it all depends on how much hate she has that day. Like, I truly believe everything that she has done to this point has been driven by nothing but the hate for Terry and Kane.
And if you guys look through Mama Bear, you're new to the group. Kane is KYRON's bio dad. That's his dad. And there's these supposed emails that Terry wrote saying that she hated KYRON and just things that I don't even know what it said in these emails. Nobody's ever seen them. But in 2010, Kane did an interview with ABC. This is what he said. A reporter said, "Have you seen the emails that are being talked about where Terry allegedly talks about hurting KYRON?" Kane says, "Yeah, well, I've seen them, yes." And then we have the video of the interview. And then in 2013, him and Desiree went on Dr. Phil. When the emails were brought up about Terry wanting to hurt KYRON, Kane said, "I haven't seen any emails." So hearing that, that's a little bit of a shock to me. And we have the Dr. Phil archives. So,
And with Kane, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I kind of think that in that first interview, Kane was thinking about the emails that they released early on, where Terry was complaining about the blogging on Facebook, on social media. She was uh, voicing frustration at LE. I think Kane thought that that was the emails that he was being questioned about. And I think in 2013, he was like, but I never seen any of these emails that were so graphic, and I think that's where some of the confusion comes in with there. I can't say 100%, but it makes sense to me that Kane's saying, yeah, I seen those emails, and then all of a sudden he says, oh, I didn't see them. And I think it's because he saw the emails where Terry was complaining to people about LE and about bloggers. And in my opinion, she had every right to be frustrated at this point. All she wants to do is find her son, and all they seem to be doing is focusing on me, and that's not getting us nowhere. I see her frustration, and I would be as equally frustrated, and I would be blowing your phone up, Camelia. Like, I would be going mad
girl, you
because,
know these fucking stalkers know my fucking name.
you know, but, uh,
8-year-old, wait, Andrew said 8-year-old Vancouver girl Aranza Lopez was missing since October 2018, now found in Michoacan, Mexico. Being 4-year-old Aranza was taken by her own mother, Esmeralda Lopez, on a court suit. I remember hearing about that case. They found her. Nobody's ever been arrested for this, Mama Bear. There's no suspects. There are a lot of people that should have been looked at. If you look in our group, there's just so many things that you will see and be like, what the fuck? Uh, it's just it's crazy. Andrew, I am so happy that she was found. Wasn't there another sibling? Oh, sorry, I just saw that and I was like, and you know, people come back. There's no evidence of him dead. There is no evidence that he is gone. Um, People come back years and years or a decade later, and alive after being lost. There's
To me, it's the 51-year-old man that was looking through the missing children and realized that he'd been missing for 50 years.
yeah,
You know,
and
and people will say, well, Kyron was old enough to know. And
no,
they're
he was
right.
not.
He,
No,
he was old enough to know. But
but
it's a known fact that trauma causes your body to go into fight or flight mode. And fight or flight mode will absolutely shut down and erase your memories to protect you.
exactly, and that's what that psychic said that we spoke to. He's starting to have memories pop up. Um, look, you guys, like this. This is his own bio parents didn't even know his room number on Dr. Phil. They got it wrong. And she says that there is no way Terry, these are the steps where Terry was. This is Kyron's classroom. There's the same set of steps that look just like this on the other side, right next to Kyron's class.
That light that you see at the other end of that hallway is a door.
Yep. And he ran up these steps. Terry ran up these steps with Kitty. She had Kitty, her 2 year old, almost 2 year old daughter at the time. And Kyron walked into his class. Desiree said on Dr. Phil that there's no way you could see straight down this hallway. We had one of our old admins go to the school and take this picture. You can see straight down that hallway. There's just so much bullshit that's out there. Wait, was he home or school or aunties? He was at school. There was a science fair. Terry was the one that always took him to school, like did at school activities. She was very involved with everything he did. Put him in sports. She was at every single game. She was at every single school function. She would just go into the class and do like the decorations for Christmas, and just she used to be a teacher. She quit her job to take care of Kyron because she raised him since he was how old?
Um, they
Christine.
had weekend visits up until Desiree went to Canada. So, not just weekend visits, they had because they worked around their work schedules. But there was constant contact from the time that Terry and Kane got together. And then it went full time when Desiree moved away to Canada. So there was never a time that Terry was not involved in his life, at least to um that role of stepmother. And then she became the full-time mother because she's the one that's there and doing everything on a daily basis, and that lasted the rest of the till he was 7 and taken away from us.
And she taught him sign language at what did she say 8 months old? Like his
Something
first
like
grade?
that.
It was
um
at 8 months old. She taught Kyron sign language. Like that takes a lot of patience, and you know you can just I don't know. Terry's in our group, you
well,
guys.
and
You can
some
see.
of the health problems that Kyron, his vision, that's something that could have went undiagnosed um for a while if Terry hadn't been an attentive mother. If things weren't, you know, uh there's so much to it, just so much. And it's sad that all of that has been stripped away because we want the I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, and I think every day my dislike. for the way that Desiree has presented this and hurt this grows. I mean, because you come back from Canada and you moved 5 hours away, and you made that obvious choice. Um, I'm sure it was easier to move into your parents' home and stay there, and but if I have two children that are 5 hours away, I don't know that I'm just taking the easiest route. I want to be close to my kids,
Yep,
especially if I'm trying to fight for them.
exactly. You move that far away, hours away. It
You
doesn't
know,
make any sense.
if she was really involved in this court case that nobody knows about, nobody can find, it would have been easier to fight if you were 20 minutes away, not 5 hours.
So, I just hold on. I looked at Stacy's page, and because I really wanted us to go and show you guys what she, you know, this is what she takes her time on. Like I didn't even see Terry posted this. Um, she posts what Terry just posts in our group. She says, "Oh, Terry, no one's going to hurt you like you had Dee Dee hurt Kyron. What kind of animals do you think we are? We aren't you and Dee Dee. Our minds don't work like yours do. Bitch, you are fucking loony.
I was going to say, I have seen some really nasty, nasty stuff
Nasty. We
come
don't
out
think
of that group.
about hurting people like you and Dee Dee do. What? This bitch has sat there. I will go back all the way, even to when I was looking the other day. Somebody said that they would put them in a room and hurt them, even past the point where they can't be hurt anymore, like dying, and then still torture them.
Yep.
Like, and Stacy was agreeing with it. She's like, "You are cracking me up. Really, you are. You are doing too much. Too much that isn't helping Kyron. You want to end people asking you where Kyron is? Tell where you put him. Your postings of court cases isn't scaring anyone, but it's really showing how scared you are. We will never stop asking what you did to Kyron. You get it yet? Bring Kyron home, Terry. You can end all of this. Dee Dee can end this. Bring Kyron home, period." So Terry posted, what is this? Lessons learned from the first federal prosecution of cyber stalking resulting in death. And this is what we are talking about because this woman is going to have somebody, one of her followers. She asked somebody, she put a post the other day. She said,
Yep.
"Does anybody in this area drive and is, what'd she say, responsible or trustworthy?"
Trustworthy. Yeah.
Trustworthy. She was like, "Message me." And somebody was like, "Why?" But then other people were like, I can. So what do you need somebody trustworthy that can drive in this lady's area for? You're a fucking psychopath. Um,
And I've said it before. Okay, let's not even say that you get somebody to do something to Terry. Okay. So you don't mean for something to happen. But what about that innocent person that just happens to be driving a green car with a pineapple on it, and somebody decides that they're going to chase that car down? Get that big picture for Stacy. And this person, not knowing that they're being targeted, wrecks and dies. Then what?
she doesn't care. And that's why I put her in a jail cell. In a jail cell. Oh, she posted it. Aw, thank you, Stacy. She said, "This is what they have time for." Terry, your ex stepson is missing. Did you forget? Well, first of all, Terry has nothing to do with what we do on our page or
Right?
our YouTube. So yeah, we have time for this because we're not gonna let people. Stacy, since I know you're listening, you know how many people have came from your group, like thanking us for speaking the truth, and they realize what a batshit crazy person you are. So Yeah, thank you. She said,
Yeah.
"Oh wait,
And what she
oh,
doesn't
and then she talks
understand,
about my kids again." Oh, thank Stacy. Just know, just know, you would not talk any of this shit ever, ever in real life. I promise you. I promise you.
that's insane.
How many groups about bashing you does this woman run? This is the second one I've seen. No, we have one, right?
What's that?
We have one group that bashes her.
Yes, there's only one.
I still want
And
to know how she knows
and
to
hold on a minute.
hold on, hold on.
No,
Somebody said
because
I still want to know how she knows to bite the pillow. Sheila Jackson, how do you know? Like anyone knows a fucking joke, you stupid ass bitch. Okay, go ahead.
well, our group isn't to bash her. That wasn't the intentions of our group. Our group was to put all of
To
this
expose her.
harassment,
Yeah,
yes, in one place. So that if something happens, there's a good suspect list to pull from right here.
exactly. Stacey is gonna wait. What? Desiree's just lying about everything. Nothing believable from her. Stacey has always been nasty. Christine, trustworthy. DM her. Christine, how do you know her again? Because you know it. I want to know all the details. Stacey is going to end up in jail. Ellie has all of this. Does she not know what that she is an accessory to the shit she wants everyone to do for her? Yeah, she's literally insane, insane, and she really needs her head checked. She is saying that she's focused on KYRON. There is not one post about KYRON on here
That
without
doesn't
mentioning,
mention
yeah, without mentioning Terry
Terry or Dee
or
Dee.
Dee. Look, and then look again. Dee is 100% in contact. No, she's thank you for giving me her number, but no, she doesn't answer. Sorry. Um,
No, these people are so bound and determined that it's funny because in the very beginning when I first met you, um, you were Terry or Dee Dee or
I don't remember. I
both.
mean,
I don't know. But it she's always talking about all these fake profiles and all this and that. And I think that's because she probably has several fake profiles that obviously she's so worried about what we're doing, but thank you because every time you say something that we're doing, we get another 10 members. So thank you.
exactly. And they come over here and they realize so many people have like are tired of your shit.
It's sort of shocking to me and making me like when we started this, I was like, yeah, let's start it because Kyron needs. But I really didn't think we'd make a difference. And, I've seen where we're making a difference.
Yeah,
And that makes me feel good because Kyron deserves so much more than what he has gotten.
they've all failed him. All failed him.
Mm-hmm.
And look at okay, so these are where did they go? These are the flyers right here. These are the flyers. Oh, she has a couple of, whatever, just Kyron, what she's supposed to have. And she has Dee Dee's, then she has Terry's, and she's asking people to post them only where she lives. I mean, they live. Not post them everywhere. Not post them all over the country, everywhere. Um, you know, but it really shows, Stacy. 10 hours ago, you have a group of 50K. You had 100 reactions. Like your reactions, you can tell people are getting tired of your shit. 7 hours ago, 16 reactions. Do better. Really, do better. You are so.
I'm really curious as to if there's, you know, any legal repercussions that could come from making flyers like that and plastering people's pictures like that in real life.
There has to be.
Like these people are not wanted by law enforcement. Yet you're making posters making it seem like they are. These people are absolutely not, because Ellie knows where both of these ladies are. They're not hidden. They're not America's Most Wanted. And we know for a fact that Terry is able to travel in and out of the country without any restrictions.
Christine said there are repercussions in California. Yeah. And she thinks that Terry will not bring her to court. She has before. And Dee Dee, her lawyer is just waiting. Like, he doesn't play. And now that you did this and so many people are once again calling her, I'm pretty sure something's about to happen. Seems like they also know what happened. I always think about that. It used to get to the point where, because Stacy at the end of every sentence she says, "Where's Kyron, Terry? Where's Kyron, Dee Dee?" So I started saying, "Where's Kyron, Stacy?" Because like it seems like you're just saying all of this, but it's making you sound like you know like every detail.
Right? What kind of crazy did it take to for you to involve yourself to this level into this case?
Yeah, because I've heard a lot. I've heard I've heard some things. Um, Stacy is supposed to come to Clear Lake to protest in front of Terry's sometime. Ah. My question is, how is all these folks that are around at the time a kid comes up missing, how they get to go out of town and out of the country, how they get privilege? Well, Terry, she's never been a suspect, so she's
None of these people, neither Dee Dee nor
nobody.
Terry, are suspects.
Yeah, nobody's a suspect. Nobody's been even cleared though.
No.
So the
And
bio,
when we say nobody has been cleared, nobody has been cleared.
nobody has been cleared.
In fact, I would really like to call the detective and make sure that when we state that we're correct on that. I'm 90% sure, but I think that should be a goal tomorrow, is to call the detective and just ask him if
Well,
anybody in Kyron's case has been cleared.
I think that's what James said because James is the only one that's been officially cleared.
But but I would like to hear it for ourselves.
True. We could do that. We could do that with our buddy that's just sitting on his ass, and I also want to show him these flyers and something. They gotta come out with something.
Right, because they
How is this
that's a
helping?
whole other can of worms.
How is that helping Kyron? What does a flyer with Dee Dee and Terry do to help Kyron? There was evidence that you said years and years ago, and they were just sitting on their asses. Now there's new evidence and they're sitting on their asses. Stacy, get on some fucking medication take time off of doing all of this because obviously you're just, well, insane. Um, how the heck that happened? Do they have any such? Because they had tunnel vision at the beginning of this. So there was the science fair had 400 plus people there. The doors were all open. There was no sign-in sheet, um, and the science fair happened every year. So Terry with her daughter leaves at 8:45, and she sees Kyron walking down the hallway. They were gonna get in groups to go look at all the other science projects,
Mm-hmm.
and um, so as he's walking down the hall, like going somewhere, I don't know what, he saw his friend Tanner. He told Tanner, "Hey, I'm going to go look at the cool electric project." And this is where everybody says Terry's the last person to see Kyron, but we have witnesses that state otherwise. He told his friend, "I'm going to go look at this cool electric project." He goes to the gym or the
Hold
gym.
on. Hold on. Now, that said, um, Terry was not with him when Tanner seen him.
Yeah, Tanner said that Terry had already she wasn't with him. The friend, the guy with the electric project, he Terry was not I can't
I don't like it when you say that. What we believe could be the electric project.
well
It was a
that's
project done on antimatter.
and that's what it is. That's
Oh, well,
electrical.
it could be, yes, it could be. But there could have been another one that Kyron was talking about. And
I mean,
fact,
either way, it's an electric
yes, either
project.
way, because he's seen Kyron.
Yeah. So either he saw an electric project and this witness saw Kyron without Terry. So that's two children that came out and said Terry was not with Kyron. That reminds me of the 411 thing, like that I
Now,
never really got into.
now also, there's also, and we don't go into it a lot because the details are very sketchy on this, and I can't decide whether it's fact or not. But there is a teacher that supposedly was with a group. There was a man that come up and said, can this one come with me and help me get stuff out of my truck?" She
Hey, come
nodded
here,
her
kids that
head.
I don't have. Where's the bunny? Look, put it back in its cage. Sorry, you guys. I had to tell the kids that I don't have. So put the bunny back in the cage.
Bunny.
The bunny's cuter. Okay, go ahead. Put it in the
But
cage.
you know, uh, she nodded and told the guy that he could help him unload stuff from his truck. Like I said, that's what I've read in a couple different places, but nothing has ever been confirmed either way.
Yeah. And there's
It,
so
it
many
it's
different, so many
if we really really look at the school and the things that happened that day, the procedures that should have been followed and were not. Um, you have Mrs. Porter, who was Kyron's teacher every day for almost the entire year, because the school was out, what, a week later on like the 11th or the 15th.
What happened? Sorry, you guys go over there, please. They're like over here eating bags of chocolate
Would you put your
popcorn.
imaginary kids away already?
No, I like my imaginary kids. Um,
Which reminds me, I got to send you a video. It's funny as hell. But what I was saying was that
I know I
This
have kids. I'm
teacher,
just kidding. I'm about to get rid of Burnett. I told you I'm gonna send you all the kids. And this is, you guys, she always says that I don't have my kids. Like, I'm literally with my kids 24/7. Like, it's insane.
trust me, I hear her kids all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. All right, what were you saying?
Now, I'm talking about the school and Miss Porter. Now, Miss Porter, Tanner says that there was another adult. Um, I think Tanner was a little confused on what that adult's role was that day, which to a 7-year old, it doesn't matter. It's an adult and I'm listening to them. But he went to another adult and said, "Hey, where's KYRON?" The adult then went to the teacher and said, "Look, KYRON's not here. What's going on?" Miss Porter said, "Oh, he's probably in the bathroom or getting a drink." Yet at 10 o'clock, she marks him absent. Now, we just found out that her desk was in the front of the room, and in the back of the room, the book bags and coats were all hanging right there in her point of view. I'm assuming she probably set the classroom up that way so that at the end of the day, she could probably make sure that the kids aren't forgetting their stuff. But
Yeah,
that stuff's hanging right there in her point of view. So she's seen his backpack and his coat hanging there all day, but
yeah.
never worried enough about it to make a phone call.
And that's
You
what
know.
I think that they're covering in a way. They're
Oh,
covering something.
absolutely.
And if I was the
Absolutely.
parent, they would have been sued. That's the first person. I
They
would have
they
had a lawsuit.
lost an entire attendance record. Now, I get the teacher's copy being gone or the secretary's copy being gone, but in my school district, the teacher takes attendance. It's automatically sent to the secretary, the district, uh,
Hey, Alicia, how are
the
you?
head of the district, the school board, and the principal. So how is it that none of them that day got attendance? None of them. The phone system wasn't working, so we didn't make robot calls to the parents that the kids weren't there. Um, you know, how is all of this not done? But the
Exactly.
school's never held accountable in any of it. And don't get me wrong, because we have ourselves collected and donated to the school. Um, because schools make mistakes, and I'm
Yeah, but
sure
this
that
is the second. This would be the third time Kyron has. Well, two times he walked off. He disappeared for what, like an hour at the most. So
right.
the time
One
he was,
time I heard that he was out on the soccer field with another boy.
yeah, for like almost an hour, you guys, the school had to look for him. How does that keep happening? And that almost makes me feel, okay, did he walk out? Did he go somewhere and get lost in those humongous freaking woods? And I don't know.
When our ex admin went and took the pictures of some of those walkways there around the school, they were very eerie.
They were.
Like, there was lots of hiding places. Um, and I could absolutely, like, even just talking about it now, it still gives me chills because they are very shaded, very wooded, very, lots of little hidey places and lots of tall grass, lots of unkept areas.
Yeah, it's definitely an area where there was a time where hold on, how much um RSO was read in that area? How much what?
Can you read that again? I'm trying to find it.
How much RSO was reg in that area?
RSO. Help us out.
Help us out, Mama Bear. Rescue search. I don't know. um, shit. I was about to say something. Damn it! I forgot about it.
Oh, registered sex offenders. Thank
Oh,
you.
there were.
Go ahead.
I don't know how many there were. You might know, but I know there was 3 that didn't have alibis out of like 90. I think it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say 60. So I know there were quite a few of them. And I do know that they say that they uh did try to verify all of those and get those marked off early on.
Yeah, and so what happened with the 3 that didn't have alibis? Like, I guess that they didn't check out to have anything to do with. I don't know. I read that. I'll have to send you that. But remember, I said where I found it, and then well,
Christine,
yeah,
I, uh,
I thought you
you
meant.
know, it this isn't a laughing matter, but in the situation, I truly hope that it's something as simple as that he's growing magical mushrooms.
Right. I believe he's still alive. There's no evidence that says he's not, and that's what I will. His own father, who I have my feelings about, but I respect the fact that he will never give up. He says his son is alive until, um, until he's proven otherwise. So I believe the same thing. I believe that, but see, my thing is, I think he was trafficked. And that being said, is the drugs, and then when they get older, they either end up on the street or they end up just like the ones that took them. They what's
Right,
that word?
right.
They shape them into what they
They
are.
groom them.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go to the
You know,
restroom real quick. I'm gonna leave you talking for a minute. I'm sorry.
that's all right. I mean, I don't know, guys. I just, to me, I don't think that anything was really looked at thoroughly in the very beginning, other than Terry and Dee Dee. And I think that when they really got into investigating Terry and Dee Dee, they were shut down at every turn. Um, in the beginning, they said that, the timeline, she was missing for 3 hours. Terry was gone for 3 hours. And that Dee Dee was gone the same amount of time. Well, then when they really started checking into it, they were able to place her at the Fred Meyers. They were able to place her at the dry cleaner. They were able to place her at the gym. That shrunk that. Well, they put out the flyers of somebody else being in the truck and this, that, and the other. Well, then they find out that Dee Dee was absolutely in her car at work at the time that Terry would have been at the school. So it couldn't have been Dee Dee in the truck. So that sort of tore that up. And then you have this magical white truck that comes out of nowhere. It's seen on a dirt road at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's seen again at 2 a.m. in the morning. Um, well, that white truck, there's no way could have been Kane's white truck. It just couldn't have been. Because at 2 o'clock, how would Terry explain that she's not home? She should be getting ready to go get KYRON. Kane's at home. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I guarantee you there were police all over the place. Everybody was accounted for. There's no way that Terry snuck out at 2 o'clock in the morning, took Kane's truck, and nobody knew that shit. Ain't happening. Somebody give me a comment to talk about because I'm not good at talking to myself, guys.
Okay. Um,
Thank
so it
goodness it
sounds
was just
like
getting awkward.
look look at look at it at all. It wasn't looked at. The first thing they did was put these pictures of a white truck out there because Terry was driving a white truck, which was Kane's truck. That automatically puts a whole picture in somebody's mind.
Yep, yep.
How do
Whether it
we
was true
know
or not, you
it
were.
is a white truck? How? How do we know? We don't know. We do not know if somebody walked off with him. What I was going to say, that dad and the girl who got lost in the woods for such a long time in Oregon, in Portland. You remember that case?
I
Uh,
do not.
hold on. It was in those same woods, dad and daughter. I don't know if they were alive or lost in Portland. Um, we don't know if they took them. Oh yeah, right here. Uh, story story of a father and girl found in the forest park is now a movie. Oh God. Um, so in 2004, a man and his 12-year-old daughter were discovered in Forest Park in Portland, Oregon. Hold on.
Christine, you are absolutely right. I swear some of the sightings of the white truck that morning were completely mixed up with the groundskeeper truck. They say that they seen the white truck on the access road. I believe that what they seen was the groundskeeper truck on the access road. And when they put that flyer out, people said, "Oh my God, I seen a white truck." And then there you have it. Now it's not even the same white truck. And if you look at them closely, you can definitely tell there's no way that those two trucks should have been mixed up. But when you have already suggested with an entire flyer that this is the truck you've seen, then you believe that's the truck you've seen.
Yeah, somebody said earlier, I have been seeing a lot of witnesses stating that the gray colored truck is not white, where police are only looking for a white truck because that's what Kane owns. There are a lot of white trucks in that area. What if it wasn't that color, like some of the eyewitnesses seen? And some witnesses saw a black truck. Like they saw,
And don't even get me started on black trucks because you know he's one of my favorite people.
oh, yeah, that's
David
what I'm
Durham.
saying. Yeah.
David Durham, he was acting strange by his brother's own words. He was acting strange about the time that went missing. Now, he didn't say that he was acting strange about the time Kyron went missing. He said, my brother started acting strange about 6 months ago. But when you look at that timeline, that would have put it right around the time that Kyron went missing.
And he had a shootout with the police. Like he shot a police officer, and now he's been on the run since. Like he's on America's Most Wanted. He hasn't been found. Is that why Kyron hasn't been found? And there's so much talk about Mexico in this case. Like the fucking landscaper, fucking ugh,
There's too many landscapers.
too many.
You know me. I can't. I can't. Groundskeepers, landscapers,
No updates.
even a fence maker is involved in this.
Yeah,
So,
and everybody went to Mexico after Kyron disappeared.
right?
Like the landscaper's wife and her children went back to Mexico, and then the groundskeeper left for 4 months. We're trying to find that somewhere, and then he came back. He wasn't. He came back and went on the news and changed his story about 3 times. And he owns a white truck. Plus, he was mowing that whole like 2 weeks and that morning it was pouring down rain. There was flooding. And how are you mowing the school's soccer field when it was raining that much? How? I want to know how. And he has a white truck. Alicia, there's a
And
here in Holbrook.
and if he had walked into the school and said, "Hey, I want some help getting stuff out of my truck," a teacher would have never thought twice about saying, "Hey, you can go with him."
No, and if this is the same guy, did you get my tags where the lady she found all this stuff on him?
I probably did, but I haven't looked at it yet.
So
You know.
he okay. Um oh yeah, and then there were some forms that were given out. Like uh so they were forms that everybody was supposed to fill out. Um like questionnaires about like
Right.
being and
I've got that somewhere in my files of
David
the
Stenson.
actual copy of the form.
Yeah, I have it right here in the
Okay.
link. David Stenson was not on the school list. Out of all those people that were at school that day that they had to go around and figure out, David, why was he not on that list? And then he didn't even have to fill out a fucking questionnaire. Um, and somebody wrote after that and they put his background. Hold on, where is it?
I'm that bitch. You got to remember, we're talking 12 years ago, and sadly, the schools were not as safety oriented as what they are today, especially your schools that were in sort of rural areas like Portland, like Skyline was. I mean, Portland's right there, but they felt that they had a very safe community. And, so sadly, the safety precautions just weren't in place.
And Kane sent KYRON's sister back to the same school.
I don't even want to talk about that.
She
That makes me
goes
sick.
to that same school where KYRON disappeared.
I don't know that after I lost a child from school, that I would ever be able to send my child to an actual school building ever,
No.
let alone the exact same one. I mean, I truly think homeschooling would have been my only option because I don't think mentally, physically, I just don't think I could have handled sending my kid out the door.
Yeah. I don't understand what and that's why I say like I have these feelings about Kane because there's a lot of contradictions and there's a lot of weird behavior. Oh,
I mean,
here it is.
let's look, hold on, before you go with that. Let's look at that entire situation. Even if Kane, which he had a great job, he was financially set, but even if he couldn't have afforded a private school or a homeschool tutor situation, he could have put out to the public that he didn't want to send his child there, and I guarantee you there'd have been 50,000 people trying to help him keep that child out of Skyline.
Wait, who do you think did something to him, Alicia? I never send my kid like that. I know, I couldn't either. And then Kane took down the wall of hope at the school. Yeah, mine would be even lucky to play in the yard. Yeah, without me. I totally agree. Um, so this I wrote a timeline for the gardener or the groundskeeper. Um, I just the groundskeeper arrives and parks across spaces with his trailer in the main lot because it is early and people aren't arriving yet. He goes to the office to get the key and back to his truck. He has moved his truck to the soccer field and is cutting the grass before 8 a.m. Terry arrives at 8 a.m. Both Skyline parent and neighbors said that there was a white truck parked there. It was not the groundskeeper because oops, because he had a trailer and a sign on the side of his truck identifying it as a Portland Parks truck. If it was not Kane's truck, it still doesn't change the timeline. Terry leaves at 8:45. Groundskeeper says he left at 8:45 or maybe 9 a.m. We know he saw kids come outside to look at the garden area while he was mowing. Most kids came by the bus at 8:35. would have gone to their rooms to deposit their stuff and then start moving around the building. Therefore, I think he was pretty accurate with his timeline being closer to 9, especially since he. Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you guys. Since he, wait, where was it? Especially since he may have had to return the key to the office. He didn't need the key to lock the padlock, but most people would pull through the gate, lock it, then walk up to return the key. Groundskeeper could have had a parts department key, but coaches and others may have needed a key and groundskeeper to travel to other parts, whatever. If this is correct, the groundskeeper would not have noticed any vehicle parked in the area they were asking about. Although the school usually opens at 8:35 a.m. and the final bell rings 10 minutes later, the school opened as early as 8 o'clock Friday for the science fair, said Matt Shelby, spokesman for the Portland Public Schools. I think the 8:45 time turned up a lot because that was the time the bell normally rang, making it easier for people to recall. Regarding David Stenson, our groundskeeper, I remembered. Okay, so somebody posted a background and she says that this was the groundskeeper. This man lived next door to the school 3 years prior to Kyron's disappearance. This shows a history of violence. If we can find out more about him, maybe he could be a possible lead in his disappearance. I'll be doing some more research and see if he has a criminal background. There's also a well in front of his house and lots of land in the back of the home. He also goes by the name Daniel Shear. And somebody said Dave Stenson goes by Daniel Shear. How do you know that? She said, I'm also looking into 3 sex offenders that live in that area too at the time. And that's funny because I knew that there's 3 sex offenders that did not have alibis. I asked her for a picture of the house, and this is what she said it looked like. Was that the house that we remember?
I know what you're talking about. I didn't look at this, so I'm just now hearing you, and
She said
I
this
am
house
not
is
sure.
literally right next to the school.
I'm on my phone, so it's not big enough for me to see.
Oh, it
Can
is
you
that
click on the
house.
picture?
It is that house because Brendan posted the TikTok video. So that was the groundskeeper's house.
The one that we looked at heavily before?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the great. You're not telling me that.
Yes, that's what this lady is saying.
No.
I tagged you in it. We'll have
Oh,
to look. Yeah.
that turns my stomach.
Yeah, because yeah.
No, no, no. We got a name on that. Oh,
Well,
I got to go back and look.
um, so there's a lot of, you guys, there's just a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of misinformation. This case, um, I think she was referring to the guy living next to the school, not David Stenson, 2 different people.
Okay.
Okay,
That would
she
make
wrote
sense.
she wrote it under David's thing. Let me ask. Wait, are somebody else also brought up his background and David Samantha, was that you? David does have some violent something on his background. Are you talking about the groundskeeper? Um oh, okay. Well then that is okay. So we did have that house because it was in that TikTok video, remember?
Yes.
And then we asked, you know who to go by there, and then our old admin went by there.
Yep. Yep.
So
Like I said, we really did look into that house quite heavily.
yeah. And then who is Vaughn? Somebody just named a guy named Vaughn. Um,
Ron?
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
That Vaughn. That he was the guy that ask Kyron for help. I tagged you in that too. Somebody wrote that in the group today, and I've never heard that name before.
See, and for me, that was the reason for starting this group. Is I don't believe that you or I or any one individual is able to solve this case. But
Oh
we
no.
do definitely know that the detectives are absolutely looking at these groups, and they know what piece they're looking for. And I can only hope that by this type of conversations, that's why we've started these threads. But by these type of conversations, that 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 piece that we're missing will fall into place.
Yes. Thank you, Samantha, because I was so confused. I was like, wait, we looked into that house and then we had somebody do, oh, let me close that. Have somebody do something and then um, I
You
didn't
didn't
know
close that? Okay.
I didn't know it was the groundskeeper, but so it's not the groundskeeper. But that TikTok video, that's the house. Hold on. Let me look at this TikTok video real quick. Because that's where we found it at, right? Was TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has to be the house, but yeah, that wasn't the groundskeeper's house. Remember when Lito was driving by and she was scared? She said those people were like sitting outside.
Christina, I absolutely agree. The parents haven't been looked at nearly enough. You know, everybody will say, well, they had alibis. Well, I know a lot of crimes that are committed, and the people had really good alibis because they were really there, but somebody else they had gotten to participate in the crime. So, just like Terry, I don't know that anybody should be above the realm of suspicion at this point.
And we just want people to understand they Stacy does not have any secret, like top secret fucking documents,
They quit
computers.
communicating with everybody.
They don't talk to
Everybody.
people. There is no new evidence. None. That's why this is hurting the case so bad. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's making people not look. And that's what fucking pisses me off. I wish you would just
Right.
shut the fuck up for once.
Right.
And
You can't, and if you're going to say he's buried, well, then you need to get your groups of people and go start finding this grave wherever it is. Do something other than just talking about it. You
yeah,
know, um, uh,
if you're so
every
sure
day,
he's
e-
buried. Sorry, I get so.
every day we encourage people to share his flyers, to speak about him, to tell his story. Because every day there's new groups. Um, Kyron's classmates, Kyron's kids that are Kyron's age are just now coming into adulthood. And, who knows what one of them may or may not have known without really knowing what they knew. I think it's very important. Or even the fact that, you know, um, something strange was going on with somebody and they didn't realize that it all fits together. Like I said, I don't think that Lexi and I, either one, are going to break this case open, and that's not why we're here. Why we're here is to give an even platform to talk about everybody. And as much as, you know, um, I really hate the whole Stacy thing. I just do. I hate having to address it. I definitely know we do, and watching what she's doing is absolutely sickening. So I definitely will always support you in doing these, but I definitely like the group for Chiron where it's at. Let's keep going. Let's keep getting these people that we feel need to be looked at. And anybody that's in Chiron's group, if you want to start a thread about one person that you're interested in, feel free. We absolutely will put in what we know, and we're always willing to listen to what your ideas and opinions are.
Yeah, you guys, we want to also, I want to do the miles for Kyron. Hold on. Oh my God. So a family, I need to find out. I'll tell you about it in a minute. My friend said in Stockton there was a girl who was there that the cops came and took from class one day. She was being sex trafficked and was going to school. Oh my God. I just watched you on the case. Um, what is everybody's? I would like to know for everybody that is watching, what is everybody's opinion on what happened or who did it? Did he get lost? Did somebody take him? Oh my God. Here's another wrongfully convicted case in his.
Alicia, we really, really appreciate you watching us. I hope that you don't ever just take our word for anything. Look up the facts, look up the links that we're sharing, because we do try to support what we say. And
Well, when you say look up the facts, there's not a lot of
mm-mm.
you're gonna find the facts on. You're gonna find Terry and Dee did this, and it's just there's no evidence. There's no nothing. Dee for Dee to do this, like Garnett has always said, what did Dee get out of this? I could never call Garnett and say, hey, I got to get rid of one of my kids. Like, can you, I need your help. And then that's never
And
gonna.
trust me, guys, I love Lexi. I love her to death. But I'm not helping nobody get rid of no kid.
Yeah, and then they stopped talking afterwards. They had to.
Well,
So
they spent 11 days together.
she was
11
a
days.
friend.
And in that 11 days,
Well,
Harry is sexting with Michael Cook. Like that blows my mind. So she had 11 days with Terry that Terry wasn't even just solely focused on her. And
Love you, Mom.
it wasn't like Terry had access to all this money. Terry used child support for the extra activities that she had. Other than that, Kane's money was Kane's money.
hold on. I can't multitask. Oh, this is heartbreaking. Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, and she didn't get anything out of it. They're trying to say that they were lovers, and there's no evidence, no proof to that. She was being a friend. As James says, they're not even that close of friends that everybody says that they were. And if a best friend wouldn't even do that, I don't see just, a regular.
Like I said, that would have to be a really, really special relationship, or there would have to be, and no, it would have to be a really special relationship. And when I say special, I'm talking Aileen Warnos um, relationship,
Yeah.
because you don't do that for a friend. You don't, and come on now. I mean, all due respect, I'm not saying nothing bad about Terry. but I don't think that she was this mastermind criminal. Like, there's nothing in her background that would say that she's been in the criminal system enough to have the one time she decides to do something major and she's just able to set this up foolproof. And
Exactly.
and, and it's never made any sense. Why? Why would she wait till the busy day at the school? She was with Kyron day in and day out. Summer was coming up. Kane's at work. They are on pretty much an isolated area of ground where she could have done whatever she wanted to with Kyron and only had to say, well, I don't know, he was outside playing.
Yep.
Because nobody would have seen her. That's like somebody said the neighbor seen her putting, and this was something that I've just recently heard, and it blows my mind. But somebody said they seen her putting a shovel in a duffel bag in the truck. Um, what neighbor? Because the entire area is wooded. They
You guys
cleaned out
can
an area,
you guys can
huh?
see the pictures too. If you go into group, you can see the pictures of, yeah, the driveway, and nobody can see that from where they are.
No, no, you couldn't see anything that they were doing on their property unless you had a drone, and drones weren't around in 2010.
Yeah, Garnet, that's bullshit.
It is. It is. It's completely people wanting their 15 minutes. And there's a whole lot of people that wanted their 15 minutes at a pork iron.
There's always a lot of people in every case. Like, you remember
Yes.
the case of Kylie, Kylie, whatever her
Rodney.
name is. Yeah,
Rodney,
everybody
yes.
was coming out of the woodwork or whatever, and I was just like, it's an accident. But like, everybody was trying to get their little 15 minutes, and
Yep. Yep.
it was ridiculous. It happens in every single case, and it screws it up. But I haven't seen a case where it goes on for 12 years. What's her name? JC Dugard. Dugard? No. Yeah. JC Dugard. You know, you know who I'm saying? Isn't it JC Dugard?
Yes.
Her stepdad was being accused for the longest, and everybody thought it was him, and people gave up, and but they didn't go on for however long she was missing. Like, they didn't harass, they didn't do all this stuff to him, and then she came back. He didn't have anything to do with it. it,
Christine, now you got me go. Now I got to go and look and see what kind of drones were around in 2010.
she said prototype.
Prototypes. So I'm just curious, because it doesn't really matter at all. But now I'm
Oh
curious, and
God!
it's gonna eat
Now,
at me.
Stacy, how much do you guys want to make a bet? Let's make a bet. I can see tomorrow that this new fake evidence what happened from a prototype drone. It's time stamped and taped. Oh God, you guys just put something into her head.
I keep saying every time something like this happens that it just proves how crazy she is. But then people absolutely take it for granted that it's true.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's because Desiree tied herself to that group. So everybody just automatically thinks, well, the bio mom's here, so it has to be true. She would never let misinformation come out about her son's disappearance.
Oh, and the thing about her going into court, what did they tell her? The first thing not to do is talk about the polygraph test. She goes and she's on stand and she talks about the polygraph test. And that's not the only time she's messed up What was the
That's why they don't talk to her.
the first time was what was it? What was I talking to you about the other day? What she did?
I don't remember.
Oh, about the book. They told her not
Yep.
to release the book.
Not to do the book. Yep.
Yeah, and she still did it. Why? Why? She said check
Well,
half.
they told her not to file the civil suit, and she did that anyways. And then, from my opinion, the minute she had to spill her entire story, then she revoked the civil suit because nothing else to me makes any sense.
No, it doesn't. Hey, Nala, no.
She
But
thought she was just going to be able to question everybody and not have to tell anything about her.
yeah,
She didn't realize that it's going to work both ways, baby. Your dirt's going to have to come out too.
yeah, but it really didn't.
Well, no,
Well,
because she dropped the case.
yeah,
But, you can't claim in a book that you fought for 2 years for your child
when you
and
did,
not expect
yeah,
anybody to not look that up.
instead of fighting, you moved hours away. Um, I'm wondering what was. Did we? Is that what we were talking about the other day? The relationship between Quinn's dad and her.
Oh yeah, we've talked about
Does
how
anyone know?
volatile.
Does anyone know like the relationship, how that is? Desiree and Stacy have put up roadblocks to finding Kyron. Yeah, I don't understand. I really don't. Why?
I just want everybody's opinion here. I think most of us are moms. For me, even my 19-year-old kid, because that's my youngest now. If he come up missing tomorrow, I am emptying my closet. Like, you guys are going to be like, please, I don't know. I don't need to know who you
Our
were
closets
fighting
are
with
already
in
empty for him.
second grade. Just please stop telling us about all your secrets. Um, wouldn't that be the first thing that, as mothers, you would be like emptying your closet completely, everything and anything out there, so that we can get back to focusing on my missing child?
Yeah, of course. Because that's what people want to focus on. They would be focused. They focus on, your past, your record, your everything else, except the missing child. But then, once all that's out.
Well, to me, the bio parents from day one were more worried about hiding their personal secrets.
Hmm.
You know, that's why they started cutting out news media, was because they didn't like who they were looking at and the questions they were asking. So, like Williamette Weekly, they completely cut out because you're not playing ball with us. No, we're reporting, and your misfortunes are as important as Terry's.
And you guys, we have the link. We have a freaking link that shows, just how that Tony, Desiree's husband, is a fucking police officer, detective. What is he? I don't know. Whatever he is. And these are the kinds of links that people don't show you. This says that Terry has been cooperating, but Tony wrote the media and said a whole different story. Why? Because they wanted her to be guilty. They wanted everybody to make her think that she's guilty. Why? Why do they not want the truth out? Why are they trying to push on this woman so hard when Ellie says something totally different?
Yep.
He says right here. Um, it says Terry Horman is wait. Investigators have not named Terry as a suspect or a person of interest. Her attorney, where is it? Okay, so MCSO, oh my God. Authorities have said that Horman has been cooperating with the investigation. So she has been cooperating. Authorities have said that many a times. But Young, the boy's stepfather, said in an email to news organizations late Monday that they don't believe that Horman have given authorities her full cooperation. So just because they don't believe, which is Tony and Desiree and Kane, or maybe just Tony and Desiree at that time, I don't know. They took that and they ran with it. And ever since, they just, oh, it pisses me off. It pisses
No,
me
and
off.
even, not just Tony did that, but there were two ex-detectives that the papers used a lot to get information who had no information about the case. All they ever gave was their opinions and insights, nothing about the case, but it was all turned into facts.
Oh, yeah. And Terry supposedly washed all of Kyron's things to get rid of a scent, to get rid of Kyron's scent. That's not how scent works, you guys. Eh, And, oh, God. Let me not, because this could be a
It,
whole nother hour of conversation.
exactly, and we're already going on two, and I don't ever do that.
Yeah, I'm just Stacy, stop your bullshit. You're not literally you are not scaring anyone. You are not making Terry paranoid. You're not putting pressure as you would like to call it because there's no pressure to put towards her. Put that pressure on people to go look for Kyron. Stop being a dumb bitch. Just stop. Just that it's so easy. It's so easy to be a good person and a real advocate. You're not a real advocate. A real advocate does not talk about other people's children. They do not talk about obsessively talk about other people. We speak about your group because it needs to be done. Everybody was stopped by you. Their groups were shut down because there was more people just like us, but we're not going to stop. Your information is hurting Kyron's case. So please just stop. Do you realize how many reactions you get? It shows a lot. Lisa said she used to have 100K people in her group. Now it's 50K. You have the power. We keep telling you that. You have the power to actually make a change with that many people in a group. But instead, you decide to obsess over Terry and Dee Dee hanging up
And
flyers.
encourage and incite violence against the two.
If somebody gets hurt, it is on your hands. And I am telling you, all of this stuff is not in this group we made just to sit there and no, we are doing this for a reason. And so when somebody gets hurt, because they will, the way that things are going and the way that you guys are,
Keep ramping things up, yes.
yeah, somebody's going to
It's
get hurt.
only a matter of time.
That is going to be on your hands. And I promise you that. And that's why I put you in a little jail suit. Because
And
that will be
and
you.
absolutely, I will spend the rest of my life making sure that you are held accountable if somebody gets hurt.
Do you, even people, even people that get bullied on the internet and they end up killing themselves, those people get charged. What if, just what if, I know, I don't think Terry would ever do this, but what if they unalive themselves? Then you never, because you think that they did this, right? You never find out what happened because she
Right.
unalived herself, and then you're charged for it. Because all of this harassment, people can only take so much, and we have it all. You will be the first person that we, this bitch did it. She needs to go down for murder. Um,
I'm just sorry that we didn't start a record of this 12 years ago.
well,
I
that's why I
just,
started going back. We,
right. Right.
So going,
Let's wrap this up.
Stacy and her world soldiers have shut down all other groups. Listen Up People has Facebook keeping that site open despite the fact it should be closed. Stacy should be held. Exactly. You guys can also go report the group, report the whole group for bullying, harassment, whatever. It takes 1 second. um, yeah, that's all. I mean, we went over a bunch of things, you guys. We went over how her facts are really opinions. We went over how she has said that this evidence shows Dee Dee killed Kyron and buried him. Da da da
When
da.
we absolutely know that they're not releasing any evidence to anybody in this case now.
And
They
not,
stopped that at 6 months.
he's not buried because that's her opinion. So you guys just look at the inconsistency. Look at all of it. Use your brain, please. It's
Well,
not
and look at the way they twist things because they do it every day. We
every day.
just had a member come in, and she was called out because she had said she was going to come to our group just to spy, and she was called out on that. And somebody went a step too far, and they posted a picture of her child, but there was a comment made, and she completely twisted it and tried to make it sound like she had been threatened and her children had been threatened. And nobody had ever made any threat to this woman. But they absolutely twist it. And if you look on Stacy's group, it sounds like she was threatened. And that was not the case.
The janitor was the principal's brother, and he's
Okay.
also the one with the porn reading. Ugh.
All right. That's what I said. Let's get off here because
Oh,
I
what
do
about
want
those
to.
brothers? Weren't they previous students? Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get off. Thank you guys so much. As always, we love you all. Please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't. I don't know when our next live is. We always just pop up randomly. But please go join our Kyron Horman groups. Kyron Horman investigation, new, old, and ignored tips. And then we have the Exposing Stacy Green page. So go check it out. And please do not believe everything you see on the internet. All
Nope.
right.
And please be active. Engage with us. Help us bring up ideas in other people.
Exactly. I mean, you guys, the whole Miles for Kyron, I want to get that started. I kind of stopped talking about that. I forgot what happened.
All right.
Yeah.
All
I love
right.
you, Christine. We will talk to you later. Garnett, I love ya. And I will call you.
Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. That helps us get the word out. And not only in Kyron's case, but we cover several cases.
Yeah, we cover a lot, you guys. It's just Kyron's. We kind of gotta, you know.
Well, that's our soft spot. That's what brought us together.
Yes. All right, you guys. We love you guys.